Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Um, the book pretty much only goes up to level of triads, and it does mention seventh chords a little bit. But let me reiterate here. Today I want to talk to you about introduction to seventh chords. Okay, we talked about this the other day, the inversions of triads. Do you guys remember this? Okay, so the numbers, first inversion is a 1-6, second inversion is a 1-6-4. And that Roman numeral we're just happening to be talking about C major. We can have a 2-6, a 3-6, a 4-6. Any chord in the scale can have a 6 as a first inversion. And now seventh chords are four note chords. Four note chords. So this is a big part of music from, I want to say, the 1800s on. Before the 1800s, everything just dabbled with triads all the time, up to about maybe up to I want to say Mozart. Mozart used seventh chords. Beethoven used them a lot, but he was a little later. He was like at the turn of the century into the 1800s. But before that, triads didn't come into play until around 1615. And before that, it was just all separate parts of separate melodies. And they noticed that certain melodies, when they overlapped each other, made harmonies. And then they discovered that three notes made a chord right around 1615. And the Latin name was trias harmonias. So that was how they understood triads back in the 1600s. So triads were in play all those years, you know. And the book dwells on triads all the way pretty much to the end of the book. So that's their whole approach, is the classical traditional approach with triads. Now we're going to step forward into more modern ideas here with seventh chords. Seventh chords are 4-part chords. So you have if you have a key of C again, here we go, our favorite key. If you have these chords, first of all, we have a scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Now the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to call this one 8. Okay, who needs to review this? Just kidding. I'd be scared if somebody went, I don't really understand. Could you go over that again? It's been done in the past. All right. So a triad is what? 1, 3, and 5, right? So now a 4-part chord uses the next one. So if we use 1, 3, 5, the next one is going to be 7. Does that make logical sense to you guys? Okay, so there's a 4-part chord. That's a 7th chord. All right, so that's 1, 3, 5, 7. Now here we have the word triad, right? Well, that is from ancient Greece, right? We have these words, monad, dyad, triad, and Kolani. What's the fourth one going to be? Did you leave us?
The fourth one.
Yeah, if we're thinking about these old Greek terms, can you guess what the fourth one's going to be?
Fourth
Too
one.
early in the morning?
Yeah.
It's called a tetrad. Remember our tetrachord? And a 5-note sequence is going to be a pentad, right? So this 7th chord is actually a tetrad, right? If we're saying this is a triad. that's just a little bit of music history that you may toss over your shoulder. All right. So anyway, 4 notes are going to make a 7th chord, right? So a 7th chord is called a 7th chord because we're using the 7, right? And a more modern chord, they can also use the 6 as a substitute, right? So you can go 1, 3, 5, 6, and these 2 notes can be substituted. They call that a 6th chord. Okay, so the problem with calling it a 6th chord is, well, if you have a 1, 6, that's not this chord. That's a 1, 3, 5 first inversion, 3, 1, 5, or 3, 5, 1. So it's not really a 1, it's not really a 6 like that. See, these two are terms that get confused. So what we want to do, we don't want to call it a 6th chord. We want to be more specific and call it, this will be a major that will be a major 6. So the overall title for these chords gets simplified when you stop calling them all 7th chords and you just call them 4-part chords. Okay. Did anything make any sense to anybody? You got a 7th chord, which is the traditional name for the 4-part chord, is a 7th chord. In classical terminology, chords of the 7th. But many composers substitute the 6 for a 7. So it's really no longer a 7th chord, it's a 6th chord. But that confuses people with the first inversion chords. So the terminology can get confusing, especially if someone's got classical training. If you say it's a 6th chord, they think it's a first inversion, not a major 6th chord or a minor 6th chord. So what modern jazz guys have done is just do away with that terminology and say, these are 4-part chords. There we go. There's our umbrella. 4-part chords, not chords of the 7th, because there are chords of the 6th and sus 4s and stuff like that. So modern terminology, we call them 4-part chords. 4-part harmony. Okay, I want to save that. Okay. All right. So now, if we go to our Blackboard, we have under content, right? We're going to module 6, chords, and we have our chord spelling sheet. You guys remember, here's our long tertiary spelling sheet. Can you see that okay? Okay, so a scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, on and on and on. The chords are every other note. You guys remember that, right? We got C, whoops, C, E, G, B, D, C, E, G, B, D. Oh, we got these two mixed up there. Hey, a typo. This is where the customers are the quality control, and you guys are the customers. I've been teaching theory for almost 40 something years. I love it when I have a mistake like that. I just look at that and go, what an idiot I am. A, B, C, D, E, G, F. What if you taught that to your grandkids? Their mom would roast you, wouldn't she? Anyway, every other note. this is this is so funny for me because you got to understand I've been teaching theory since the 1970s. And I have done these like brain dead mistakes here and there, you know. And every time I do it, it just cracks me up because it's like, how could I? All right, so here we got E C E G E G B G B D G B, you know, B D F F A C. Okay, so now that extends to the seventh chords too, doesn't it? So seventh chord is going to be a four-part chord: C E G B, right? E G B D, right? G B D F. When I'm running out of colors, B D F A. How about orange? D F A C. Does that make sense now? So seventh chords are going to be uh, so those are going to be the spellings of the seventh chords. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so now, um, how can you modify a seventh chord, a four-part chord? Well, if we go back to our music paper, okay, so let's take, we got four-part chords. Let's take our first one. 1, 3, 5, 7. So the first thing you can do is leave these three intact, right? And then modify the 7. So you can go 1, 3, 5, and then what can you do to the 7? You can make it a flat 7, right? Or you can go 1, 3, 5, 6, right? Or a more weirder modern sounding chord is a 1, 3, 5, flat 6, huh? That's a 20th century chord. So that's what you can do to the 7, isn't it? What happens if you raise the 7? It goes up a half step, right? What does it become when you raise the 7 up a half step?
Sharp 7.
Are you serious? If you got the chord C, E, G, B, and you take B and you go up a half a step,
It's an 8.
Yeah, it equals C, isn't it? So C, E, G, C. So a 7 up a half step becomes a 1, doesn't it? I mean, somebody could argue that it's a sharp 7, but in all reality, in practical purposes, 7 up a half step is a 1. So you really can't sharp the 7. Uh, the terminology for sharping the 7, as you know, comes from a minor scale, right? The traditional minor scale. One, two, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Where they take that and they sharp the flat 7 and it goes to 7. So that gives you the harmonic minor scale, right? So that's what they would term a sharp 7. In some circles. But the book, almost all books now do away with that sharp 7 term and they call that a raised 7, right? Because you're not sharping the 7, you're making it natural again by raising it. Yeah? So it's a raised 7. So it's really not a sharp 7. You know, these are like semantics, okay? I think you guys understand that if you take a 7 and move it up a half step, it turns it into an octave, yeah? So it's very rarely called a sharp 7. But in the minor key, the flat 7 can be raised up a half step to become a natural 7. You guys understand all that, right? Good. Okay. All right. So we got 4-part chords. Now, if we have 1 3 5 7, 1 3 5 flat 7, we have this box here. Of things you can do to the 7, right? So we've exhausted our possibilities for what we can do to the 7, right? Okay, so what's the next one on the list? The 5, right? So then I can take the 1 3, I can go, now I can sharp the 5, right? Or I can flat the 5, right? What else can I do to the 5? Anything? I can sharpen or flat it. What else can I do? Anything else? Really not, huh? That's it for the 5, right? But then we can combine them. So we can go 1 3, sharp 5. Now flat 7, right? 1 3, sharp 5, 6. And then this one, 1 3, sharp 5, flat 6. Those, don't those cancel each other out? Sharp 5 is the same note as flat 6, right? Isn't that true? So this is this chord 1 3 sharp 5 flat 6. That's not a thing. So we don't go there because they cancel each other out. So we deduce that by trying it. Okay. Now, so we've got the 5s And the sevens, we got 7, sharp 5, 7, flat 5, 7, okay? Now we can go 1, 3, flat 5, and take that 7 and make it a flat 7, right? Or 1, 3, flat 5, 6. And again, if we go 1, 3, well, we have room there because those are two different notes, aren't they? 1, 3, oops, flat 5. I can get away with this one because these notes are a whole step apart, right? Yeah? Okay. So these are the mods of the 7. These are the mods of the 5. So combined, we get all these variables, right? Now, what's the next mod we can do? The 3, right? Yeah? So if we got 1, 3, 5, 7, I can go 1, flat 3, 5, 7. And then if I go sharp 3, well, do we know what a sharp 3 ends up being? A sharp 3 is a 4, isn't it? So some academics call it an augmented third. I've seen it before, but in any case, that is not on the table. We can go 1, 4. All right, so from those, we can go 1, 3, 5, 7, 1 flat 3, 5, 7. Now let's take 1 flat 3, 5, 7. We can go 1 flat 3, 5, 7, and use the same logic. I can go 1 flat 3, 5, flat 7, right? 1 flat 3, 5, 6, 1 flat 3, 5, flat 6, right? So that's with the flat 3. Now I want to do the flat 3 and the flat 5. Because I got both of those modified. So I got 1 flat 3, flat 5. Then I can modify the 7. I can go flat 7. Then I can go 1 flat 3, flat 5, 6, or 1 flat 3, flat 5, flat 6. You guys following me? Okay, so those are all the modifications I can use with a flat 5. And then the last one, we can go 1 flat 3, sharp 5, 7. Then I can go 1 flat 3, sharp 5, flat 7, 1 flat 3, sharp 5, 6. Now, if I go 1 flat 3, sharp 5, flat 6, again, that cancels each other out, right? The sharp 5 and the flat 6 are the same note, aren't they? So I don't have, that's not a thing. 1 flat 3, sharp 5, flat 6 is not a thing. Okay, so now we have this one here. 4. Oh, we didn't talk about 4, did we? Ooh, that's a biggie. So here's our first one. Now, you guys want to screenshot this, please? I will do the same. right, let's talk about 4. 1, 4, 5, 7. Here we go with the same routine. 1, 4, 5, flat 7. That one is a very popular chord in music these days. First chord, Beatles, Hard Day's Night. Have you guys ever heard that song? Maybe? The very opening chord of that song. I'm going to pop it up for a second so you guys. Here we go. See if you can hear this.
We've heard rumors that some men survive. Those people will jump at anything.
It's been a hard day.
Once again, that first chord. That's a 1, 4, 5 flat 7 right there.
It's been a
Okay, so that's a thing. Okay, so we got Beatles, Hard Day's Night, 1, 4, 5 flat 7. Okay, now keep going with this, right? 1, 4, 5, what? 6, right? And then we got 1, 4, 5, flat 6, right? Okay, so that's modifications. Using 4 instead of 3. These are all the modifications of the 7th. Now we got the modifications of the 5th. 1, 4, flat 5, 7, 1, 4, flat 5, flat 7, 1, 4, flat 5, 6, and then here we got again a chord that's not a thing because 1, 4, flat 5. Oh no, that's a thing. Flat 6. That's a thing because it's a whole step apart. What's not a thing is a sharp 5 and flat 6. So now we have 1, 4, sharp 5, 7, 1, 4, sharp 5, flat 7, and 1, 4, sharp 5, 6, and the next one's not a thing. 1, 4, sharp 5, flat 6. Well, you know by now that that is same note, right? Alrighty. Okay. So what else can we do? 1, 4, 5, 7, 1, 4, flat 5, 7, 1, 4, sharp 5, 7. Well, if you want to push it, we can do this. We can go 1, sharp 4, 5, 7, 1, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1, sharp 4, 5, 6, 1, sharp 4, 5, flat 6. Okay, then we have our last round here, 1 sharp 4, our second to last round, right? We can't do anything with a flat 5 in it, right? Because a sharp 4 and the flat 5 cancel each other out, right? But we can use a sharp 5. So we go sharp 4, sharp 5, right? One, sharp 4, sharp 5, flat 7, 1, sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, and our 1, sharp 4, sharp 5, flat 6 is not a thing because these cancel each other out. So we can't have that one. Okay, so those are pretty much all the possibilities right there for a 4-part chord using traditional tertiary harmony. Yeah? You guys getting it? Those are all the things we can do to the notes. Now, in the common practice period, they didn't use most of those chords at all. They were like not a thing for those people. But they are now for jazz and modern classical, and they are used a lot in movie soundtracks to give a real tense sound in certain spots. Composers can use whatever chords they want now. You know, everything's a thing in modern music. Everything's a thing, all right? Okay, so now let's take a screenshot that one. All right, now. All right, so now let's go back to Module 6 chords. So here's the basic table nomenclature of chords right here. And we can shrink it down for the triads and the 7th chords. And these are the names of them: major 7, major 6, minor 7, minor 6, dominant 7, also called 7th chord, 7 sus 4, minor 7 flat 5, diminished 7, and augmented 7. And our last one, the minor major 7. Those are all the ones that have been used. The ones that have been used in older classical music are this one, that one, that one, that one. That's it for the repertoire of 1700s, 1800s, 1600s, and 1700s. 1600s they didn't use 4-part chords. 1700s they started using it, and that was their extent of how far they went with it. They didn't. You had a couple of guys like Rameau. Jean-Philippe Rameau used a major 6th chord, and his title of it was a double employment. Major 6, double employment. He was a French music theory guy. So he used a major 6, he called it a double employment. And if you have a C major 6, like C, E, G, A, well, if you respell it, it's A, C, E, G, right? So that's A minor 7. C major 6 and A minor 7 are the same notes. So that's why he called it double employment. He called those major 6 chords an inversion of a minor 7, a double employment. Which was true. It's true. Can you see how it's true? So nobody quite argued with him about that. But anyway, he had a whole system of theory that he worked out that he based on what's called the fundamental bass heard in your imagination whenever you hear any chord. Anyway, here's the nomenclature of chords. Chords. Okay, so we have a larger one too. Let me see if I can find it for you guys here. Let me get another one. All right. Here we go. Okay, so we have the full one here. Let me get these two next to each other. This is the complete one. All right, so this one here, we got triads, 4-part chords, and it expands into 5-part chords and 6-part chords, and then all the way up to 7-part chords. So we're going to focus on these right here. So if you guys would be so kind as to download this file and either have it on the screen or preferably print it if you've got a printer. And now we're going to look at this assignment. So we're going to the 4-part chord matrix. So again, here we have our matrix. So we're going to fill out a major 7. What's the formula for major 7? 1, 3, 5, 7. Straight up, right? So the key of C. Now, again, this is the unmovable note right here. So we're going to go C, E, G, B, right? And then here we got our spelling, right? A, C, E, G, right? But that makes that a minor 7, so we got to go A flat, C, E flat, G. Does that make sense, you guys? All right, now the next one's going to be F, A, C, E, right? And the last one, D, F, A, C. But that is a D minor 7, so we got to go D flat, F, A flat, C. Chord name, C major 7. And we like the MA or the MAJ. We don't like M. This is A flat major 7. F major 7. And then D flat. And here we have our treble clef over here. Everybody understanding what I just did there? Okay. Let me get a warm up here. Okay. Okay, so next one. Same formula, right? Major 7. So let's do one at a time here. How about Yosmar on the first line? What do we got? What's the spelling? Just the spelling.
B D F A.
Right. Next line. Just the spelling.
G B D F.
Third line.
E G B D.
And then
C E G.
yeah. Okay, so that's how you do this assignment. Do the spelling first, right? That's the quick and easy way because you just knock that down, boom. And on the final exam, that's going to save you some time. Just do the spellings first. Then go back and go, okay, how do I make that into a major 7? So I got to go B. A major 3rd would be D sharp, right? And a perfect 5th would be F sharp. And a major 7th would be A sharp. Do you guys understand why I chose all those notes? And then the chord name is B major 7. Now, for modern people, we can use triangle 7 if we want, or B major 7. We don't want to use B M7. That's just for this class. I can't stand it when those are written because too many musicians will mistake that for a minor. Yeah. So we try to train you guys to not get into that. And although a lot of people who have taken this class have been trained that way, it's really not a good practice for the studio or rehearsal, is it? Because it slows everybody down, right? And if you take too long in a rehearsal, the biggest problem with that is that you're wasting valuable drinking time. You know that, and I know that. All right, next chord, Andrew. We're doing a major 7, so what do we got to do?
So you got to G B D F. Let's see. Well, you leave the G and the B and the D alone. And you sharp the F.
Yeah. Because a major 7 is a half step below the root, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got G major 7. Okay. Next one, Denise.
So you would sharp the G,
Good.
and then you would sharp the D.
Okay. And then we don't need to do anything with a C, do we? We're good there, huh? All right. All right, now here's the next one. Major 6. Not a first inversion chord, a major 6 chord. What's the formula, guys? 1, 3, what?
5 and
5,
6.
6.
5, 6. Okay. Denise, let's go through the spellings. What do we got here?
D F A B.
DFAC.
Oh.
Next one?
B.
Yeah.
B D F G.
A.
A.
That's the tertiary spelling, right?
Mm.
Okay. Reason I did it that way, you were right actually, but we want to take that 7 and make it a 6. So that C goes down, doesn't it? And that A goes down, right?
Mm.
That's a 7, isn't it? So a C down from a 7 has to go down a whole step, doesn't it? 7 down a whole step is a 6. So a whole step below C, you were actually right. It's a B, but I just wanted to explain the process. So forgive me for confusing you. A down a whole step would be G. You were correct there too. But I was just trying to explain the step-by-step process involved. Now we can toss that process out for the next one. So we go
G, E,
come on, G, B, D,
E.
and yeah, and we can also go to the 5th and go up a whole step, right? Now here's the tricky one, right? Because that's already the 6th, right? These numbers aren't staying. Everybody's on Zoom right now, huh? All the classes in North America. So if D is the 6, what's the 7? 7's going to be E, right? Right? So if E is a 7, we need to calculate F, A, C, E, right? So D is a whole step above C. Does that make sense how I did that? I went to the 7 first, and then calculated the chord from the tertiary spelling, and then now we have the D as our 6th. Okay, Kalani, let's go through these. D major 6, what do we got to do here?
You sharp the F. And that's it.
That's it. Now, on a modern chart, it would be written D6 like that. But we like this one, right? Because that one, that could be a 1, 6 or a 4, 6, right? We don't want to confuse a D6 with the first inversion, yeah? So this notation, we want to scrap that in favor of this one here. And I've seen that one, triangle 6. Okay, next chord, let's go with Yosmar.
The B chord, right?
Yeah, the B major 6 chord.
You sharp the D, you sharp the F, and you sharp the G.
You do what?
You sharp everything but the B.
Well, remember these D's are the fixed note. We can't do those. We can't move those around. We're modifying everything else, right? Remember?
Yeah, my bad.
So what do we got to do? We got to make that a B flat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then F is a perfect 5th above B flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this would be a B flat major 6, right? Okay. How about Melanie? Can you figure out this one?
In G major, nothing changes.
Right.
What else were you thinking?
Okay, Kalani on that one, last one there.
So it should be, oh wait, nothing changes.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, now we have a new animal. Minor 7. What's the formula, guys?
1 flat 3 5 7.
Almost.
1 flat 3 5 flat 7.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, help me out with the spellings here.
So it's A C E, and then it's what is it? C, no, D, D, F.
Is that what you said?
No, I messed up on the first one. I meant D, F.
That's called when you're driving along, somebody just pushes you out of the car onto the freeway, right?
Yeah. D, F, A, C.
Okay, and the spelling for the next one?
B, D, F, A.
And then
G, B, D, F.
so we got our flat 3 and our flat 7. So our tertiary spelling is going to hold for all these, right, Kalani? So now with the F, what do we got here for F, Kalani? F,
F, um, A flat,
A flat. Ah, come on. C,
E flat.
E flat, right? Ah. All right. Yosmar, next chord.
D, F natural,
Yep.
A, and then C
Yeah.
natural.
So nothing needs to be done to that one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? BDFA. What do we got to do to that one?
Well, isn't it? Oh,
The F stays the same, so that's a 5, right?
yeah.
Perfect fifth. So to make it a perfect fifth, we got to go B flat, right? That's B flat to F is a perfect fifth, right? Now we
Yeah.
need a minor third.
So D flat.
D flat. And now we need a minor 7, so A flat, right?
Yeah.
And for G, we got a B flat, D, and F. That's good. All right. This makes sense to you guys? Okay, cool. All right, so here's the assignment. Okay, so we're going to do this one under content, chords, 4-part chords, matrix. 7-page document there. Okay, now, you guys get that done for Monday? Very good. Okay, I hope you guys understood today's lecture. And I will see you all on Monday.
Thank you.
Professor,
Yeah.
could you share the first screenshot you took with me? Because my screenshot thingy messed up.
Okay, let's see. Which one was it? Was it this one? No.
The one with the variations of the seventh chords.
That one?
Yes, that was it. I'll take the screenshot now.
Let me move it so you get all those out of the. There you go. That is also in the nomenclature in
Oh.
full right here. Well, we got our nomenclature under content, chords, nomenclature. That's all here. And then page 2 has all these other oddball chords. You see that?
Yeah, okay.
That's all complete right there. That's full. It's full. So,
Okay, thank you.
and then yeah, you got that one there. Okay.
Mhm. Thank
See
you
you.
so much. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.